1. The Invitation. Chapter 1. The Mysterious Letter. Detective Li Ming's apartment was cluttered with case files, coffee cups, and the detritus of a young detective's life. He sat at his desk, squinting at the dim light from his desk lamp. The city of Shanghai buzzed outside his window, a cacophony of life and noise that felt miles away in his small, quiet room. A knock at the door startled him. It was unusual for anyone to visit at this hour. He opened the door to find a plain envelope, sealed with black wax bearing an ornate crimson blade emblem. He turned it over, but there was no return address. Only his name written in a neat, formal script. Curiosity got the better of him. He broke the seal and unfolded the letter inside. The message was brief, written in elegant calligraphy. Detective Li Ming, you have been selected to participate in a unique and challenging game. Your skills will be tested and your courage proven. If you accept, follow the instructions enclosed. Welcome to the game. The Crimson Blade. A small, folded card fell from the envelope. Li Ming picked it up and read the instructions. Report to the hidden alleyway. Shanghai at midnight. The letter was both intriguing and ominous. Li Ming's heart raced with excitement and apprehension. This was an opportunity to prove himself, to step beyond the routine of his daily life. He glanced at the clock. It was nearly midnight. Without a second thought, he grabbed his coat and left his apartment. Chapter 2. The Meeting. The hidden alleyway was tucked away from the bustling streets of Shanghai, shrouded in shadows and mystery. Li Ming arrived to find a weathered door partially concealed by dark drapes. He pushed it open and stepped inside, the dim light revealing an underground meeting space filled with an eclectic group of individuals. The room was bathed in a soft, eerie glow from lanterns hanging on the walls. At the center stood a figure cloaked in a dark robe, his face obscured by a mask shaped like a crimson blade. The Crimson Blade. Welcome, Li Ming, the leader said, his voice rich with charisma and hidden menace. You've been invited to join our game, a series of challenges that will test your abilities and your loyalty. The prize is the Crimson Blade itself. Li Ming took in the faces around him. There was Mai, her fingers tapping away on a holographic device, her expression a mix of intense concentration and bemused detachment. The Shadow, standing in the corner like a dark silhouette, his eyes watching everything. The Viper, exuding a cold, calculating aura. The Ghost, who seemed to flicker in and out of visibility. The Scholar, surrounded by ancient tomes, his glasses reflecting the flickering light. The Gambler, with a roguish smile and a glint of mischief in his eyes. The Acrobat, limber and poised, clearly itching for action. And the Alchemist, whose mysterious presence and cryptic smile hinted at hidden knowledge. Each challenge will push you to your limits, the Crimson Blade continued, and only those who prove themselves worthy will survive. The room was silent as the weight of the announcement settled over the group. Li Ming felt a mixture of excitement and trepidation. This was his chance to step out of the shadows of his ordinary life and into a world of danger and intrigue. Chapter 3. The Rules of the Game. The Crimson Blade gathered everyone around a central table, where a detailed map of Shanghai was spread out. He explained the rules of the game. Each challenge would test a different set of skills, from stealth and combat to intelligence and teamwork. The challenges were designed not just to eliminate competitors, but to reveal the true nature of each participant. The ultimate prize, the Crimson Blade said, pointing to an ornate dagger etched with crimson symbols, is the legendary artifact known as the Crimson Blade. To win it, you must prove your worth through each challenge. Li Ming looked around at his fellow competitors, feeling a sense of camaraderie mixed with competition. The challenges would be daunting, but he was determined to face them head-on. With a final nod of approval from the Crimson Blade, the meeting concluded, and each member went their separate ways, preparing for the trials that lay ahead. Part 2. The Challenges. Chapter 4. The Opium Den Heist. The Opium Den was a labyrinth of dark corners and hidden alcoves, its dimly lit corridors reeking of opium smoke and danger. Li Ming and Mai had carefully planned their approach, but as they descended into the depths of the den, the reality was far more chaotic than they had anticipated. Li Ming adjusted his mask, trying to blend in among the patrons who lounged listlessly. His heart pounded as he surveyed the room, trying to keep his composure. Mai, perched on a nearby stool, worked her technological magic, her fingers moving deftly over her device. "I'm tapping into their security feeds," she whispered. "Give me a moment to bypass their encryption." As Mai hacked into the system, Li Ming kept watch. The Opium Den was a den of iniquity, with men and women lost in their haze, some whispering secrets and others lost in their own worlds. The air was thick and oppressive, making every breath feel labored. Mai's device emitted a soft beep, and a holographic map of the den appeared. "I've located the target and encrypted ledger in a secret chamber. It's behind that bookshelf," she said, pointing to a large, ornate bookshelf against the far wall. Li Ming nodded and made his way towards the bookshelf. As he approached, he accidentally knocked over a bottle of opium. The loud crash of glass breaking was followed by a series of startled cries. The room erupted into chaos. Li Ming's face turned crimson as he realized he'd just given away their position. Mai scrambled to her feet, her eyes wide with panic. "We need to move now," she shouted. The guards, alerted by the commotion, began to converge on their location. Li Ming grabbed Mai's arm and pulled her towards the bookshelf. They yanked it open to reveal a hidden door and slipped inside just as the guards burst into the room. The hidden chamber was filled with ornate furniture and darkened corners. A single desk in the center held the ledger they needed. Mai, her fingers still moving quickly over her device, began decrypting the ledger's lock. Li Ming stood guard, his ears straining for any sounds of approaching danger. Suddenly, one of the guards found their hiding place. Li Ming and Mai were forced into a frantic scramble, dodging blows and narrowly avoiding capture. Mai's sarcastic remarks, even in the heat of the moment, were a testament to her unshakable confidence. As they fled through the dense smoke and chaos, Li Ming stumbled over a sleeping guard, causing an accidental chain reaction that sent furniture crashing and patrons screaming. Mai managed to hack into the den's security system to cause a temporary blackout, allowing them a narrow escape. Outside, the cool night air was a welcome relief. They had successfully retrieved the ledger, but not without leaving a trail of confusion and destruction in their wake. Li Ming was both exhilarated and exhausted. Mai's dry wit as they made their way back to their safe house helped lighten the mood, despite the adrenaline still coursing through their veins. Chapter 5. The Train Robbery. The second challenge was a high-speed train, speeding through the Shanghai countryside. The goal was to infiltrate the train and steal a valuable cargo, locked in a high-security compartment. The team assembled on a desolate platform as the train approached, its engine roaring. The gambler, ever the showman, took the lead in their plan. His charm was as potent as ever as he tried to distract the guards. "Watch closely, folks," he announced with a flourish, pulling out a magician's hat. "I'll make something extraordinary happen." His trick, intended to disarm the guards, involved making a rabbit appear from his hat. However, the trick went awry, and the rabbit was replaced by an empty space. "Well, that's one way to make a rabbit disappear," the gambler quipped, as the guard's suspicion turned into outright confusion. The acrobat's role was pivotal. Her agility allowed her to bypass the train's security systems with ease. She flipped and leapt through a series of intricate mechanisms, but not without incident. In a comedic twist, she became tangled in a web of electrical wires, her limbs flailing as she tried to extricate herself. Meanwhile, the Viper worked in the shadows, using her cunning to disable alarms and create diversions. Her attempts to remain unseen were occasionally interrupted by her clumsy missteps, which only added to the chaos of their mission. As the train hurtled along its tracks, a hostage situation erupted in one of the compartments. The team was forced into a delicate negotiation with the hostage takers. The gambler's quick thinking and silver tongue played a crucial role, as he persuaded the hostage takers to release their captives while simultaneously aiding in the heist. The acrobat's daring moves allowed them to access the secure cargo. The team worked together to overcome the train's security and retrieve their prize, all while maintaining a fragile balance between stealth and chaos. The final moments of their heist were tense. With the train nearing its destination, they had to act quickly to avoid capture. Chapter 6. The Duel in the Forbidden City. The third challenge took place in the Forbidden City, a sprawling historic site that served as the backdrop for a dramatic duel. Li Ming faced his most formidable opponent yet, a renowned swordsman known for his skill and deadly precision. The scholar, with his vast knowledge of ancient history and combat techniques, provided invaluable insights into the swordsman's fighting style. However, his own clumsiness during their preparations led to a comical incident. As he shuffled through ancient scrolls for pertinent information, he tripped over one, sending a cascade of scrolls and books tumbling to the floor. Li Ming, trying to incorporate the scholar's advice, found himself executing a series of awkward and unconventional moves. The duel was intense, with the swordsman's strikes precise and calculated. Li Ming's unorthodox style, though initially awkward, proved surprisingly effective. His movements, while unorthodox, were unpredictable enough to catch the swordsman off guard. The Forbidden City, with its hidden traps and mechanisms, added an extra layer of danger to the duel. As Li Ming and his opponent fought, the ancient traps were activated, creating a perilous environment. The scholar's accidental pratfalls and the escalating traps made for a mix of humor and suspense. Despite the challenges, Li Ming emerged victorious. The duel had tested not just his combat skills but his ability to adapt and improvise under pressure. The experience left him both physically and emotionally drained, but also more determined than ever. Part 3. The Betrayal. Chapter 7. The Double Agent. The revelation of the double agent within their ranks sent shockwaves through the group. The atmosphere was tense as the scholar's investigation uncovered the traitor's identity. The Shadow, the elusive and enigmatic assassin known for his stealth and secrecy. The Shadow's betrayal was not only shocking but also deeply unsettling. The group had relied on his expertise and discretion, and now his treachery put them all in jeopardy. The discovery was made during a strategy meeting when the scholar, poring over encrypted communications, found evidence pointing directly to the Shadow. The meeting room, previously filled with the usual banter and strategies, fell silent as the Shadow was confronted. His calm demeanor contrasted sharply with the rising anger of his fellow assassins. The ghost, who had remained in the background, now stepped forward, his presence creating an almost supernatural tension. "You've been playing both sides," the Crimson Blade said, his voice cold and controlled. "Why?" The Shadow's eyes, visible through his mask, betrayed a hint of regret. "I was forced into this. My family is in danger. I had no choice." The Viper, ever the opportunist, saw this as a chance to eliminate a rival. She tried to disguise her glee as the confrontation turned heated. Her attempts to blend in as an innocent bystander during the previous challenge had failed, but now she reveled in the chaos. The confrontation escalated quickly. The Shadow, in a desperate bid to escape, attempted to flee. The ensuing fight was a whirlwind of movement and intensity. The Shadow's agility was matched by the coordinated efforts of the team. The combat was fierce, with Li Ming finding himself engaged in a tense, one-on-one struggle with the traitor. Despite his training and experience, Li Ming struggled to overcome the Shadow's deft maneuvers. The fight was a dangerous dance of skill and wits, with each combatant pushing the limits of their abilities. The Shadow managed to escape momentarily, but the team regrouped and tracked him down. The climactic battle occurred in an abandoned warehouse, filled with shadows and hidden dangers. The Shadow used every trick at his disposal, setting traps and creating diversions. But in the end, the combined efforts of the team were too much. The fight was brutal and intense, with each member showcasing their unique skills. In the aftermath, the Shadow was subdued, but the team was left shaken. The betrayal had undermined their trust and left them vulnerable. The Crimson Blade, though visibly affected, maintained his leadership, guiding the team through the immediate aftermath. Chapter 8. The Final Showdown. The final challenge was both the most dangerous and the most anticipated. The team's objective was to retrieve the Crimson Blade from a heavily guarded vault, a task that required all their skills and resources. The vault was located in a high-security facility, protected by state-of-the-art defenses and a legion of guards. The alchemist, with her deep knowledge of poisons and potions, prepared a powerful concoction to aid them. The potion, a blend of rare ingredients, was designed to enhance their physical abilities and protect them from potential traps. The infiltration began with the team, splitting into smaller units to tackle different aspects of the vault's security. The gambler and the acrobat used their skills to create distractions and disable external security measures. The gambler's charm and quick thinking were instrumental in navigating the facility's initial defenses, while the acrobat's agility allowed her to bypass laser grids and motion sensors. Li Ming and Mai worked together to breach the inner layers of security. Mai's hacking skills were put to the test as she faced a complex network of encryption and security protocols. Her fingers danced over the keys, her concentration absolute as she bypassed each layer of security. As they approached the vault, the team encountered a series of increasingly dangerous obstacles. The security systems were designed to be impenetrable, with pressure-sensitive floors, motion detectors, and automated defenses. The alchemist's potion provided a crucial advantage, enhancing their reflexes and strength as they navigated these challenges. The final moments of the heist were tense and dramatic. The team faced a heavily fortified vault, guarded by elite security personnel. The ghost's supernatural abilities proved invaluable, as he created diversions and manipulated the environment to their advantage. The Viper, despite her earlier treachery, proved to be a skilled and effective combatant in the final confrontation. In a dramatic showdown, the team fought their way through the final defenses and accessed the vault. The Crimson Blade, an artifact of immense power and significance, was finally within their grasp. The battle to secure the artifact was fierce, with each member of the team showcasing their skills and bravery. The final moments were a mix of triumph and tension. The team managed to retrieve the Crimson Blade, but the facility was on high alert. They had to make a quick and strategic exit, navigating through a labyrinth of corridors and security measures. As they escaped, the sense of accomplishment was tempered by the realization of the sacrifices and challenges they had faced. The team's unity was tested, and the experience left them changed. The Crimson Blade, now in their possession, represented not just a prize, but a symbol of their journey and the trials they had overcome. Part 4. The Resolution. Chapter 9. The Crimson Blade revealed. With the Crimson Blade in their possession, the team returned to their hidden sanctuary, a sprawling estate nestled in the outskirts of Shanghai. The atmosphere was charged with anticipation and unease as they prepared to uncover the true significance of the artifact. The Crimson Blade, a beautifully ornate weapon with intricate carvings and a gleaming edge, was placed on a pedestal in the center of the room. The scholar, with his deep knowledge of ancient history and mythology, carefully examined the artifact. His eyes widened as he deciphered the runes and symbols inscribed on the blade. "This isn't just a weapon," the scholar said, his voice filled with awe. "It's a key to a hidden legacy, an ancient lineage of assassins, whose history has been lost to time." The Crimson Blade's true nature was revealed through a series of cryptic revelations. The artifact was linked to a secret society that predates even the current group of assassins. It was said to hold the power to unlock a hidden knowledge that could reshape the balance of power within the secret world. The ghost, ever elusive, stepped forward and began to share fragmented memories and visions associated with the artifact. His supernatural abilities allowed him to sense the deeper, mystical aspects of the Crimson Blade. The blade holds the essence of the original assassins, those who bound their fate to this artifact, he intoned, his voice echoing with an almost ethereal quality. The revelation was accompanied by a dramatic unveiling of ancient texts and scrolls. The scholar translated the texts, revealing a prophecy about a chosen one who would wield the Crimson Blade to bring about a new era. The team was left grappling with the implications of this prophecy and the responsibility that came with it. The Crimson Blade was more than just a symbol of power. It was a beacon of destiny. The leader of the assassins, the Crimson Blade himself, was revealed to be the guardian of this legacy, tasked with preserving the ancient traditions and guiding the new generation. Chapter 10. The Aftermath. The aftermath of the game left the team in a state of reflection and uncertainty. With the legacy of the Crimson Blade revealed, the team faced the reality of their choices and their future roles within the secret society. Li Ming, having experienced the trials and challenges of the game, was confronted with a profound decision. The adventures had tested his skills, his morality, and his understanding of his own identity. He was no longer the inexperienced detective who had first entered the world of assassins. He had grown into a formidable player in this intricate game. The Crimson Blade's legacy cast a long shadow over Li Ming's future. The artifact's revelations brought with them a sense of destiny and purpose, but also a daunting responsibility. The choice was whether to continue his involvement with the secret society or return to his former life as a detective. In a pivotal moment, Li Ming stood before the Crimson Blade and the other members of the society. The leader's gaze was both wise and weary, reflecting the weight of the role he had played in preserving the ancient traditions. "Your journey has just begun," the Crimson Blade said. "The legacy of the Crimson Blade is not just about power. It's about understanding and guiding the future." Li Ming's decision was not made lightly. The trials had shown him the complexities and dangers of the world he had entered. The camaraderie with the other assassins had forged bonds of trust and respect, but it had also exposed him to the darker aspects of the society. As the sun rose over Shanghai, casting a golden light over the city, Li Ming made his choice. He decided to remain with the secret society, embracing the responsibility and the legacy of the Crimson Blade. The decision was marked by a sense of resolve and determination. He would continue to be a part of this world, using his skills and knowledge to shape its future. The story concluded with a dramatic and hopeful note. Li Ming's journey was far from over. The game had opened new paths and possibilities, and the future held both challenges and opportunities. The legacy of the Crimson Blade was now intertwined with his own, and the adventures that lay ahead were filled with promise and uncertainty. As the final scene unfolded, the team gathered together, united by their shared experiences and their commitment to the legacy of the Crimson Blade. The resolution was both a conclusion and a beginning, hinting at future adventures and unresolved mysteries. The story ended with a cliffhanger, suggesting that the world of assassins was far from static. New threats, hidden secrets, and emerging challenges awaited Li Ming and his comrades. The game had set the stage for a new chapter, and the legacy of the Crimson Blade would continue to influence their destinies.